My name is Iqbal Bakat, and I am what's called a pracademic, basically meaning practitioner academic. So I teach at a university, I do research at a university, but I also am a practicing filmmaker. I came to filmmaking through theatre. I was a theatre director in Singapore for 10 years. I had a very successful theatre company, independent theatre company. And when I'm in Australia, I started becoming involved in film rather than going back to theatre, because I had become interested in film as well. I read a lot about film. I enjoy cinema. I enjoy a lot of interesting cinema from all around the world. From Italian neorealism to German new cinema. Those are some of my favorite cinemas. So when I came to Australia, I decided to become a filmmaker. Shocked about what's happened, you know. And then what happens is,
I'll grab a backpack.
yeah, and then you turn to Jono and said, this is not right.
And then
You
we
know.
hear a carriage outside and look out the window.
Yeah, what was that? Something like that. And what was that? Yeah, what was that? This is not right. Okay? So this is the Hotel California situation. So now, Daniel, all you do now basically track the movement for them with the camera. Where do you want them
When
to
did
move,
you
where do want
started thinking about, teaching or in a way becoming a professor in a university?
I had always been a teacher. When I was in Singapore, I had my own drama school. There's a point where the audience also must realize that something is wrong in this scene. So the scene must, that's the part, the denouement of the scene, right? The part before it comes down. And when I moved to Australia, I did my masters, and immediately after I did my masters, I was offered to teach undergraduates, and I liked it. I really enjoy working with undergraduates. I enjoy the kind of ideas that young people have. I enjoy their enthusiasm. I enjoy their belief that the world can be changed. I find that very refreshing. I love working with young people, and because of that, I continued teaching at a university, and then a few years after I started teaching, I decided to pursue my PhD.
So you become a full-time professor?
That's right, yeah. Sean is setting up the set. He's our production designer. So introduce yourself to Wilkins. Sean, can you come here and introduce yourself to Wilkins and what you're doing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tell him.
I'm Sean, I'm the production designer for this skit.
Thanks. And turn around. And Jono, who are you?
I'm Jonathan, I'll be the actor.
I'm David, I'll be the first AD.
And,
I'm Tracy, I'm another actor.
and
Hey, I'm Gabby, I'm the DP.
Hi, I'm Jordan, I'm the camera assistant.
Daniel?
Hi, cool. Hi, I'm Danielle, I'm the director.
Hello.
Josh?
I'm Josh.
Do a lot of students seek out for kind of professional advice, do you?
Yes, I have an open door policy. I think that's very important for me, and I always keep my door open to students, so whenever they need their help, both within their units and outside their units. For example, if they want to, for part of my role in Macquarie is to be responsible for their career development. Okay, so first AD, please call for blocking.
Action!
I understand in your filming that advertising, can you tell us what it's about, generally?
That was a scene that was done by our third years. Our third years were improvising a scene in the roles that they normally have for their productions, and an external advertising company came and filmed us doing that. So basically that was what was happening. So what I did was I organized for my students to construct the scene, and to basically show the world what we do here at Macquarie University.
So is that a lot to do with your line of work in MQU, or was that requested from you? Or did you kind of just volunteered for this sort of promotion thing? That promotional thing came into you, because obviously it's from an outside.
I like to help my colleagues. It's very important. Not only do I want to help my students, but I also want to help my colleagues. So when I heard that the arts faculty were doing an advertisement for our department to basically showcase what we were doing, and they asked me whether would I mind showcasing some of
Yes.
the work, I immediately said yes.
No. Did you take into the account the fact that there's a lot of opportunity to the students to kind of learn how the professional works?
Yes.
Do you encourage them to
all the time.
How do you think it will help them?
Because you see, the media industry is very interesting at the moment. So as you know, the industry is fragmenting.
Yes.
Okay.
it is.
And there are fewer and fewer traditional jobs. That doesn't mean there are fewer jobs per se. I think that there are now being created many more jobs in the media industry. But I think many of these jobs, the students would have to find themselves. They have to create these jobs themselves. So it's something that we call creative entrepreneurship. The students will have to go out there and become entrepreneurs. And I'm interested in that. So by looking at how, like for example, this company, this bunch of boys just now were working, my students would see, okay, they could also go out there and basically form a company to be making content, you know, for television, for industry, for community, you know, so they could see that it's possible for them to be content creators as well. Because if they just wanted to become a film director in Hollywood, that's going to be very hard. But if they want to be directing films for the rest of their lives, that's possible. And also possible to make it into a career.
Finally, what would you say to kind of people that kind of shares the same dream as me when they're on the downside of advantage? What would you say to them to kind of motivate them?
Keep going. I say it's always keep going. Very, very important. Never stop. You know, the beauty is that for you, for example, I see you have your own camera. You're always filming. You are working with whole different mediums. You're working with dancers. You're helping people make documentaries. You're always improving your skills and learning. Never stop learning.
Would you say even you haven't stopped learning, and that's how it's kind of keeping you propelling forward?
I never stop learning. One of my favorite filmmakers, Akira Kurosawa, whom I'm still learning from every day. Every time I watch his films, I'm learning new things. When he received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Academy Awards, he made a very important statement. He says, I don't understand cinema language.
なぜなら私はまだ映画がよく分かっていない。
Because I don't feel that I understand cinema yet.
Can you imagine one of the greatest filmmakers who's ever lived say, I don't understand? What he means by that is that he's not, you know, being facetious. What he means by that is there is so much more to learn. Cinema is the newest art form. It's only slightly over 100 years old. There is still so much to explore. Whenever people tell me cinema is dead, film is dead, I think they are talking absolute crap because it's new. If once you at a point where you think I'm not learning anymore, that is when you should leave it. And I think that's when you say, okay, I don't want to do filmmaking anymore, whatever. But I think in your case, I can see that you are very inspired and you're constantly learning, constantly doing new things. And I think that is fantastic, you know. I just keep going.